Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Innovation Podcast, your source for all things innovation. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Marty Beard on the line, and he is co-founder and CEO over at Always AI. Marty, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you very much for having me.
All right, Marty, so I'm excited to get into today's topic. So we're going to talk about how computer vision is helping companies provide more value to their customers and partners. But before we do that, I want to get a little bit further into what you're doing over at Always AI. Tell us a little bit more about the company, please.
Sure. Yeah, we're a software company located in San Diego. We are focused in the artificial intelligence space, but specifically in the what's called the computer vision space. It's all about adding vision to machines, to cameras, to drones, to cars, etc. And we're just super excited to help software developers throughout the world, leverage this exciting new capability of vision and really make that in kind of an easy and affordable process for them.
Now that is exciting because I'm excited to as this technology advances, as these drones, as all this becomes more accessible to let's say the smaller businesses, not just military or enterprise, then I think how it affects our day-to-day life becomes super interesting. And I think it's also a great transition, Marty. So let's get into today's topic. So how computer vision is helping companies provide more value to their customers and partners. Where do you want to start with this one? This is a big one.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I'll kind of start high level and come down into the details. But vision. So this is the fastest growing part of AI in the world right now. Actually, computer vision. It's super exciting because vision is probably one of the last parts of the technology stack that hasn't been automated. So we've automated voice and messaging and all kinds of layers, but not vision. But it's been too complicated. It's really difficult to figure out how to get a camera, a sensor, a drone, a car, something to be intelligent and to see. But we're starting to figure it out, and you're starting to see it play out across healthcare, where people are using robotics to basically detect skin cancer, or, for example, keep an eye on an elderly patient and maybe notify a caregiver if somebody falls down. You've probably heard the expression smart cities, and we've got cities using computer vision to, figure out how to improve traffic and parking and kind of understand usage of public space and how they can better optimize space for their citizens. On and on. Manufacturing is using it to basically detect cracks or corrosion or things like that in their lines and in their manufacturing equipment. Just this is a much quicker, much easier way to kind of track something like that than the way that we've traditionally done it. So it's starting to play out across a lot of different industries. Obviously, I would say most of the press around computer vision tends to be around security or some of the more, quote unquote, creepier, implementations. Mm-hmm. But this is not really where the majority of the work's happening. It's mostly happening in places, like I said, like manufacturing and healthcare and agriculture and all kinds of different industries.
Yeah, I've seen it, and I mean, some of the things that I think are interesting are in the healthcare space. I interviewed somebody a while back who they were, I think their technology was essentially helping read X-rays and things like that, and it was just really high-level stuff to where it's like it can catch things that the human eye can't catch. Like it's just not possible. And over time, after that data is collected over a certain enough amount of time and inputted, it becomes possibly in this very particular instance better than what we could do ourselves. There's tracking it.
That's right. I mean, exactly. There's a subset of so-called machine learning that's called deep learning, and that's where machines actually are learning themselves. And if you give them enough data and you give them enough patterns to recognize, then over time, something like detecting skin cancer, they actually become better at it than a human. That doesn't play out obviously in all applications, but in more and more and more of these, we're seeing this kind of predictive capability get better and better. We focus on the edge. So we focus really on cameras and sensors and things that are kind of out there in the world already, but not necessarily so-called smart. And so we figured out how to get these deep learning capabilities, these predictive capabilities out onto really small footprint devices that are out in the world. And simple example, you walk into a coffee shop, they know that you've walked in, they know what your favorite orders are that's waiting for you and ready, or they already start the process, et cetera. I mean, there's all kinds of examples that you can think of. But yeah, it's an exciting space.
So so a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, executives out there listening, a lot of big tech audience in this. So Palo Alto, Mountain View, a lot of downloads there. What are some things that are on the horizon what just excites you about the technology or about what's next? Because you're living and breathing this day in and day out.
Yeah.
For some of us, we get it like we see an article here, we see a news thing here, or they're listening to this right now, and this is where they're getting their info. So what excites you right now?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think when you see it actually work, so it's one thing to talk about it, but for example, we've tried to make it really easy. Like if somebody comes to our website, you can just sign up and you can literally start using computer vision, build an application and suddenly see the items in your office or wherever you happen to be. And that kind of brings it alive. So I think what gets me pumped is making it really accessible for the average technologist. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be a PhD in algorithms or computer vision techniques. We're trying to make it accessible. The thing that gets me so pumped is when we do, like a hackathon or we do a webinar and you can see people using it and their faces kind of come alive like, now I get it. Like I've actually got a camera that is identifying objects, and I can start thinking through all these new applications that were not possible for me before, or it was just too complicated, right? So that's the part that gets me excited, is making it easy. A lot of Silicon Valley trends are just too hard and sort of only applied to a small subset of people. And that's not useful, right? That's just technology being too nichey. So I think we're really trying to make it a much broader phenomenon. That's been a lot of fun.
Man, that is exciting. So so final question, two-part question. I want to, so what are the right types of clients that are typically a good fit for Always AI? You mentioned developers, but just give us a little bit more of a meat on like kind of what kind of niches and industries that you found have worked well with Always AI. If it isn't, it might be agnostic, but just to give them a good flavor.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned the website, but let's leave the website address and let people know how they can really connect with the brand and get going.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're it's not really the size of the business per se, but if you have developers on your staff that know a little bit of Python. So Python is a very popular language that is basically the language of AI. If your developers know a little bit of Python, they don't have to be experts, and they want to explore the applications of AI and of computer vision in particular, that's the ideal. You don't need, one of those, two of those. Maybe you have a small team of 3 or 4. That's the ideal situation for somebody to start prototyping very quickly. So you don't have to spend a lot of money on AI software and computer vision, algorithms and techniques and outside consultants and expensive engineers. You basically have some of your core staff and they can start prototyping some ideas. Like, what do you want to work on? Do you want to, maybe you're in the healthcare space. We talked about that. Maybe you focus on government clients. Maybe you're in manufacturing. There's a lot of different things that you can start very quickly, start prototyping very quickly, which engineers like to do. Try this, try that, try this. And that's what our platform is ideally suited for. We're suited for that small group, a little bit of Python knowledge. Here's a tool, get going. You can start seeing the impact right away.
That's exciting. And website, and what's the best way for them to connect?
Yeah, I mean, just the easiest is the website. It's Always AI. That's one word, alwaysai.co. And what we're encouraging people to do is to sign up. So you sign up for free, and you immediately can start using the application. So you can download models, use our APIs, and deploy out to your Raspberry Pi, your camera, whatever you're using right away. So we just encourage people, go to the website, sign up, and give it a whirl.
That's awesome. Well, Marty, really appreciate you coming on the show today and really giving us some insight on what's going on in the future of computer vision. I think it's exciting. I love guys like you and the people out there that are working on this to make my life better. So thank you for that. And to the audience,
thank you.
As always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Innovation, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments on the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Marty, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.